Well, India and China have restarted a stalled withdrawal of troops on the contested Himalayan border in what could be the most significant move to ease tensions since deadly clashes 4 years ago. Indian defense officials say troops from both sides have started pulling out from Depsang and Demchok in eastern Ladakh. Those are the last remaining points at which both sides stood face to face. China's foreign ministry confirms the troop withdrawal is proceeding as planned.
根据中印近期就边境有关问题达成的解决方案，双方的一线部队正在开展相关的工作，目前进展顺利。
A landmark deal on patrolling struck earlier this week paved the way for leaders Xi Jinping and Narendra Modi to hold their first formal talks in 5 years at the BRICS summit in Russia. Both leaders agreed to boost communication and cooperation during their discussions. And more, Ishan Garg joins us live from New Delhi. As we just mentioned, Ishan, this patrolling deal was struck several days ago, but the pullout we're seeing or being confirmed today reflects, I suppose, what was in that patrolling deal. What more would we know about this agreement?
We understand that this primarily relates to two of the friction points as they have been described by the experts and several media articles, that the two friction points in the Ladakh region, Demchok and Depsang, that's where the troop withdrawals are now taking place. And these were believed to be the last 2 points where the Indian and the Chinese army were standing very close to each other. And therefore, there was always a chance of things flaring up there. And now once the troops have started moving back, according to the Chinese foreign ministry, this certainly signals a big move in terms of disengagement from the friction points. The Indian Ministry of External Affairs has yet to comment or to confirm the troop withdrawal, but there is every expectation that once substantial progress has been made on this step, there might be a confirmation from the Indian side as well. Now, what the military officials have said in the past, that this disengagement would be followed by more confidence-building measures. So it remains to be seen what the two sides will do in the future. There is a likelihood of the military commanders meeting regularly to discuss where they're going to be patrolling, because that plays a very crucial role in terms of both countries marking their own territories because of the thousands of long kilometers of border that India and China share. Not much of it is properly demarcated. So patrolling the border is actually one of the few methods that the two sides use to mark their own territory. So that's where the possibility of friction arises, and that's where the confidence-building measures will become supremely important. So it remains to be seen what else is going to be done in the next few days to make sure that tensions don't escalate once again.
All right, Ishan, the tensions you mentioned, they have shown themselves not just in security, but also for example, in trade relations. Where might we expect to see further improvement in relations following this border agreement and this troop pullout, if that is confirmed?
Well, business and trade certainly remains the next frontier on which the two countries are likely to collaborate. There have been several articles published in the past quoting sources within India's corporate world that say that many companies had been pushing the Indian government officials to make sure that business engagements with China go back to business as usual. But that hasn't been the case in the past few years. We would remember that after the two sides first clashed in 2020, business relations basically froze. India banned 200 Chinese apps, suspended flights, direct flights rather, to Beijing. And since then, the business relationship has taken a massive hit. But in the past few years, we've seen imports rising, and India's business community now says that it also needs to have that opportunity to start doing business with China once again, exporting more stuff. But experts are also saying that India is probably going to be a lot more cautious on that front in terms of making ties as normal as possible once again, because in the past 4 to 5 years, there's been a massive trust deficit that's been created between the two Asian neighbors, and it will take some perhaps more meetings and a bit more time to make sure that the relations can actually go back to normal.
And we shall see what happens as time progresses. Thanks to Ishan Garg reporting live there from New Delhi.